So probably it was a prelude, no, to our 100 years in 1995. Suddenly, two branches were created. Kasi during those times, ang mga top branches namin were really the Chinese branches. So,
in insular life na the district manager left to go abroad. So they're looking for a district manager to replace him. So in other words, I was promoted from a unit manager to a district manager, diretso. Oo. For lack of someone to replace the one who resigned, di ba? You know, it's so difficult to handle people whom you do not know really. Kasi they were just there, and it's so difficult to get their commitment, their loyalty. I've learned a lot from them. Parang naging practice ba for me to be able to lead. But it's different when you are the ones recruiting.
Yes. Welcome to our episode for tonight, which we aptly entitled 100% Activity Ratio Doable This Pandemic.
Ayan.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Kamusta?
Maraming salamat po sa very, very heartfelt and warm welcome. So maybe no one cared enough to talk about how important financial planning is to my family. And that's the reason why ito pong career na ito, itong negosyo na ito, para sa akin po, hindi lang po ito something na ginagawa ko as a business. But para sa akin, personal po ito sa akin. And hopefully, I can inspire a lot of leaders to accept what is the current reality right now, because there's a lot of opportunities where we can expand our business and reach more Filipinos. More than that, help more Filipinos so that no Filipino family would ever experience what we've experienced in our life.
Hello, Miss Ida.
Hello, Jay. Hello, RFP. Thank you for having me dito sa Leaders in Action.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Everybody watching.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening to you.
So, most of my team members are millennials. I would say about 45% are millennials. Then, sa Gen X, about 34% are Gen X. Then we have 20% na boomers.
Even when they were already building their teams, no, syempre, busy sila. You and your siblings were somehow exposed also. So nakikita nyo yon.
Yes. Siguro maganda yun. Kasi if you want to brainwash your children to join you, bata pa lang siya, i-brainwash nyo na. Kasi yung mga ginagawa nila, yung mga ganon, nakikita namin eh. And slowly, life improved.
Hi, Miss Mariles. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Jay. Good evening, Ivy. Best picture is by doing it, by showing it by example. Hindi lang namin sila tinuturuan how to sell, but we really show to them how to do the business properly, ethically, and professionally. Resiliency can be developed. Hindi naman po automatic. How do we know that they have this? Pinakausap po namin, we are very close to our agent. We are so blessed kasi hindi po masyadong malaki po yung aming group. I got an ID to help me go through all this process. Yun din po yung ina-advise po namin sa aming mga agents, na they have to be either creative, but they have no choice but learn how to adapt sa ating bagong situation. No?
Every year, syempre, meron kayong dinadagdag ng mga tao sa members nyo. How do your values guide you when choosing the new members of your team? Hello, Paul and Nina.
Good evening, Miss J. Good evening, Mr. Ivy.
Without the support of one, it will be very, very difficult. Always want to be all in. We give our all to whatever it is that we start and whatever it is that we do. I think the major challenge really was first it was internal. Can we really be leaders? The self-belief. It was difficult to accept that reality. When you mortgage your home for a quarter of its value, just to be able to set up the agency, because we were looking at not being marketable anymore at 32. Right?
Kasi Does it matter that your identity as individual get lost in a partnership?
Sometimes talaga, Ivy, no, it tends to get smeared. May blurred talaga ang lines. It's definitely not black and white. There are advantages and disadvantages with Ivy. I totally agree.
Actually, sir, I don't want to be in the insurance industry from the very start. Ayan. So, nagpa-license po ako. Masunuring bata.
Alam mo na paano ka nagkaroon ng desisyon na maging leader?
May kasabihan, di ba, na mother knows best. So, I always... Yeah. So, pag sinabi ni mother, huwag ka na question, sumunod ka na lang. Around 93% of our population are millennials and Gen Z. We only have 9 standing boomers in our agency.
Why did you decide to go into that co-management already?
It's also a tough work talaga for one person. So, she asked me if I can step up and be promoted as a co-agency manager with her so that together we can manage and grow together. As long as you have the trust in the process, so hindi rin ako natakot to step up and assume the role. Siyempre, as the son, I always defer to my mom. No? Kami yung magpa-fund, pero the leaders are always a big part of the decision-making process.
Magandang araw, Ivy. Magandang araw, Ms. Jay. Hello, everyone. Magandang araw din po sa mga nasa Facebook Live. It's very important for us to mention that we are proud products of the life insurance industry. In terms of expectations, medyo graduate naman ako doon sa part na parang medyo parang very challenging naman to, yung ganyan. Kasi parang that was my early stages in the career as a leader. It's a pleasant learning experience. Kasi syempre, hindi naman pwedeng hingin ko lang yung tiwala niya without me proving that I'm worthy of being trusted, diba? We were starting our own units was that we weren't following a particular structure. Diba? Kasi we didn't spin off from a branch. Diba? Hindi po kasi ganun yung naging structure namin. We also hold different values that we want to uphold for our different units. And eventually, we understood na if we branch out to different agencies, at least, kumbaga, nalatag na natin yung foundations of the kind of culture and leadership and values that we want for our separate teams. There were days that we had to work harder than other days. Pero the good thing lang din is because we're sisters, we're kinder to each other. If one of us needs to take a break. Diba? So,
hello everyone. So ano ba yung ginagawa ng mga to? Bakit ganun? 6 digits, millions yung pesos ang kinikita niya. Tapos yung pangarap ko, 5,000 lang, okay lang. Bago ko sabihin na hindi ko kaya, dapat subukan ko muna yung lahat.
Introvert pa rin siya. Pero because of Sun Life, because of the people that surrounded her, she became more confident. The corporate, you work 10, 12 hours, no? And then on weekends, you're on call. So it's not really a life, no? And then you have a fixed salary. I told my wife, Mami, join na ako dyan sa Sun Life. When she finally showed me the passbooks, she was already earning like twice, sometimes 3 times what I used to earn. I was happy, pleasantly surprised because I didn't know we had that much money already.
Siguro din kaya din nag-grow yung team kasi they're very open in listening to younger generation. So, I'm a permanent student of life. So, I want to be 10 steps ahead of advisors, of managers. Because I have my own goal I have my own vision.
Kaya nag-decide po talaga ako, since nasa teaching na rin po ako, why not teach other people also the importance of having this insurance. So, hindi pa ako open-minded dahil yung mga nag-aalok sa akin, they didn't even give sa presentation ko sa akin. Hindi ko nila pinakita or binigay sa akin yung value ng insurance. Sabi ko, you need to teach people. Siguro kung nag-reject man ngayon, hindi pa siya handa. You go again and educate him or her. If I'm not knowledgeable on it, hindi ako
persuasive sa mga clients ko. I want to build first the values of our agency. Kung ano po yung goal na hinit po ng superior po ninyo, you need to hit it. Kasi if you are focused on it, hindi ka mababaling sa mga fears and challenges. Yun nga po sinabi niyo, if you are hitting your goals, you need to celebrate. Yun po yung failure ko that I need to start doing it now, sir. Because of you and Ma'am Jay.
Very good. I just did the right thing. I asked a lot of questions to my mentors. I didn't want to deliver misrepresented information sa clients ko. So doon sa exhaustion part, if I saw it na, and it's proven that if you do it right, if you don't think about your own pocket, think about the welfare of your clients, the business will grow, and you will be prosperous talaga. So I want myself to experience all the pain, all the rejections, or all the heartaches, all the sleepless nights. Para kapag nag-leader ako, I know what to tell my unit heads or my future agents. You are attracting people already. Do not recruit, attract. They will come. So yun po ang secret, one of the secrets of on how to build manpower. As a leader, I need to, syempre, you have to be a soldier as well. Kung ano yung system ng company, try to follow it pa rin. Like,
Good evening, Jay, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to our final episode of Season 2. Tonight, we'll talk about another surprising and inspiring career shift. Already having a successful career in one of the big accounting firms in the country, our guest decided to count people more than numbers. And in his journey in this industry, he has made significant strides, most especially in the last 2 years. He is a great example of the tough getting tougher in tough times.
Good evening, Mr. IB, at magandang gabi to all our dear Thursday friends of Leaders in Action. Welcome again to our Season 2 finale episode. Tonight, we speak with another young and dynamic agency leader whose energy seems boundless and whose story should encourage our audience to be much bolder with their dreams and aspirations. But before we go and move to our topic for this evening, we would like again to thank Mr. John Michael or Jomai Quizon of AIA-Philippines for sharing with all of us his recipe for building a successful agency. Like a great sous chef, he makes most of the diverse set of leaders and advisors to reach out to more people across the different regions in the country. You can watch again our interview with Jomai on our Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Yes, and Jomai also highlighted what he learned as a chef. Great preparation leads to a great product. To be an effective leader, one must exert the effort to be ready for the role. He specifically mentioned about feeling and understanding the pain of leadership, so the agency or branch heads will better appreciate the journey of the leaders they will develop. But this evening, we will hear another big shift in career, and we'll again confirm the beauty of our industry. What makes successful people from other industries to cross over and find greater success in this life insurance industry? And what best practices do they bring so they can be much more successful in this business?
We are indeed very happy to be joined tonight by one of AIA-Philippines' most progressive and emerging agency leader who moved from success to success despite all the challenges that they have encountered. But you know, Mr. IB, just like for most of us, the early days of pandemic were also difficult for him and for his team. But something happened. To share with us the magic that he weaved in order to create a team of highly engaged young leaders and advisors and register breakthrough performances during the pandemic. Our dear leaders, please let us give a warm welcome to AIA Philippines Associate Agency Manager, Mr. Jerome De Castro. Hi,
Good
Jerome.
morning.
Hi.
Good morning, leaders in action. Good morning. Na-miss ko po kayo, Sir Ivy and Miss
Hi.
J. It has been, gano'n na ba katagal?
Tagal
It's
na.
been a while. It's great to see you, ha? After so many years, no? Talagang years
Yeah,
na.
years na.
Last time we saw each other. And Mr. and IB, no? And I couldn't be much prouder, no? Of what we have seen with you and your team. And thanks again, Jerome, for accepting our invitation to be our guest tonight. We are already excited to hear your
Wow.
wonderful story.
Thank you po. And excited ako dahil season ender pala. What an honor to be the season ender speaker, no?
And you're correct, Jerome, almost 3 years, pero looks like hindi ka nagbabago, young as ever. So I suppose that's what the industry is all about, forever young, no?
Wow, agree. Energy is everything talaga.
Yep, correct. So again, thank you for being with us. So we'll start the conversation. And before we go into the meat of what we'll be discussing, please, because maraming nanonood from the other companies, introduce yourself briefly and your current team, number of leaders and advisors, and the profile of your team today.
Hi everyone, I'm Jerome De Castro. I'm an associate agency manager from AIA-Philippines. I think the counterpart of that with other companies is like a sales manager in preparation to become a branch or an agency manager. I joined AIA-Philippines, formerly Film Life, 2015. So I'm already on my 7th year. And this is my longest affiliation with the company, even longer than my stint in an auditing firm before. And I've been an MDRT also. I have my fair share of success as a financial advisor. I am a 3-year MDRT. My biggest success, baby, in the industry is actually I am a 100 straight weeks consistent weekly producer from 2016 to 2018. So that spans more than 2 years. And with my passion with the career, I was able to attract like-minded individuals in this career to the point that right now I am leading a team of 123. So 1, 2, 3, no? Nag 1, 2, 3 tayo. And it will be virtually impossible for me to lead 123. So I am being supported by my leadership team. So we call it the DC leadership team. We're 29 leaders in the team, but of the 29, that actually includes candidate leaders. So the positional leaders, what we call AUM up, are 17. Yeah.
So pretty big team in less than. When were you appointed as associate manager, Jerome, again?
Last year, October 2020.
Oh,
2020.
almost.
And if I can add,
Yes,
if I can add, because we label ourselves the slashies. So I'm Jerome, a financial advisor slash associate agency manager slash life coach slash workshop facilitator, because this year we launched the DC Academy. It's actually a training academy where we offer master classes for leaders and financial advisors. So yun yung aking summary of who I am and what I'm enjoying.
Well, again, congratulations for you and for your team, no? Mga slashers, no? Being able to take on very responsible roles, no? In your career. My other question is yung why life insurance? What motivated you to join this industry 7 years ago?
Yeah. Siguro kung okay lang ba i-share, medyo nagkwento MMT pala ito, no?
Yeah.
So, to be honest, pwede pong wala ako dito sa Leaders in Action ngayon because I was born in an impossibility, no? So, we were born in a squatters area in Cainta. Sobrang hirap ng buhay. For how many years we don't have electricity, tubig or CR. Ganun po kahirap yung buhay. siguro kaya din nagsasucceed ngayon pandemic kinaya dahil sa hirap ng buhay, no? Manina to no, for me. We're 7, I'm the eldest, and my both parents don't have a job. So as our source of income is sa karinderya, and we're like selling 3 to 4 ulam every day. Yun na yung pangkain namin, no? So paano ko nakapag-aral? God sent me angels through around seven different scholarship foundations, schools, and and individuals who helped me through the years. I graduated BS Accountancy. Magna cum laude. I graduated magna cum laude and even topped the board exam. I'm top 4 of the 2007 CPA board exam. So that's where the start of being in the insurance, because my first job is an auditor. And as an auditor, I thought it's God's way of me really aligning me to insurance, because my first audit client is actually an insurance company. So it's not even AIA-Philippines, it's even a smaller company than Film Life. So that's where my exposure is around insurance. At first, I became a client. No? I became a client because gusto ko maging milyonaryo age 30 eh. And I realized para maging milyonaryo ako, I need to force myself to save. So that's where age 22, I signed up for my first policy. Back then, parang hindi pa po uso ang industry kasi wala akong kakilala na financial advisor. So, nagpa-refer lang ako. Aswerte ng financial advisor dahil hindi na siya nag-discuss kasi alam ko na yung produkto, alam ko na yung budget, no? So, I signed up for it. Sign up. The next bonus, sign up si Papa. The next bonus, sign up si Mama. Kasi I'm the only breadwinner back then. So, if anything happened to my parents, ako lang mamumroblema. So, better have them covered, no? So, that's the story. And then, as early as that, no, I was exposed to the potential of the career. Kasi, nung nag-audit ako, ikwento ko lang, commissions yung audit ko. Sabi ko, anong ginagawa ng financial advisor? Ba't ang laki ng income nila? Para, back then malaki na 80 sa akin, malaki na yung 182, 380. Sabi ko, anong ginagawa nila na they're earning this much? Eh ako, as an auditor, top-notcher pa, grabe yung puyat, no? Overtime, overnight. So, back then I had that inclination na, this can be a potential career in the long run. Yeah. But I didn't pursue it on the onset because I'm still building my auditor CPA career. Tapos when I walk the hallway, pag MDRT sa company na yun, parang kang artista. Kasi yung picture mo ang lalaki, may mga portrait yung mga MDRT doon. Sabi ko, siguro sobrang hirap maging MDRT. And then back then parang someday I'll become like that, no? Yung nasa may pa-picture. So ang nangyari, nakakatuwa kasi fast forward after 5 years of signing my first policy, may magandang opportunity dumating. May isang apartment na nailit ng bangko was being offered for a low price. Ako po yung nakabili kahit wala akong pera. You know where I sourced the down payment? I called the insurance company. Sir, magkano po partially pwede withdrawin sa policy ko, policy ni Mama, policy ni Papa. It turned out, all along kala ko wala akong pera. It turned out, meron pala, nakatabi lang, no? So sabi nga natin, pag may sinuksok, may madudukot, no? So, I succeeded in winning the bid for that. Yung 25% down, 75% mortgage amortization, pero would you believe, hindi ko pa problema. Because 1 month of preparing the property pagkabili, fully occupied agad. So it's a passive income for me because may renta, no? Yes. And then after 1 year pagkabili, ang aking isang audit client, an oil and gas company, nagbigay sa akin ng opportunity. I was offered a job where it will pay me 3.5 times of my salary as a manager. O, di ba? Sabi ko, like I'm being paid 183,000 at 27 years old. Di ba? Kahit sino yata, i-grab yun. So I grab it, and then would you believe after 1 year with the new company, I fully paid the mortgage. So yung aking kagusto maging milyonaryo at age 30 na advance, naging 28. So 2 years in advance. So that's where the story started na, I have a story to tell. Tapos, yung second work ko, sobrang kabaliktaran ko. Ang first work ko, sobrang overtime. Dito hindi. Pag 5:01 PM na, papagalitan na kami ng boss namin. Kailangan din na kami online. Kailangan pauwi na kami sa family namin. So, ang saya pala pag Australian yung boss. So sabi ko, anong gagawin kung hindi ako sanay? Sanay ako mag-overtime. Sanay ako, hindi ko nakikita ang araw. So what will I do? Then that's where I approach someone I know from the industry, pero hindi kami personally acquainted, si Reynold. Reynold happened to offer insurance to our company. So wala akong ka-close na anyone, so siya lang, sige. Sana pagbigyan ako ni Reynold, sabi ko, Reynold, pwede ka bang gawin yan? as a part-time financial advisor. All along, kala ko hindi pwede kasi back then walang walang ingay around the career. It turned out pwede pala. So that's where it happened. Na nagkaroon ako ng time, did that, and that ang nakilala ko sarili ko, competitive ako eh. On my first month, Miss J, Sir Ivy, would you believe, joining an agency like Regan Financial na sobrang home of the MDRTs. Luckily, feeling ko it's God's way of trying of helping me to succeed. Wala ang mga MDRT dahil nasa MDRT convention. So ako ang nag-top advisor on my first month. At yun, at from there, napapost ako sa social media. Doon na nagsimula yung dali ng career sa akin. I just started with few friends. And then, yung success ko on my first month, yung nag-like, nag-comment doon sa post ko na around 360, yun ang inubos ko. Kaya napadali ko yung career ko as a part-time advisor. And then 8 months, dahil hindi naman ako nagre-recruit, I'm very sure I'll do this part-time. Kaya lang, every month, may nag-i-inquire sa akin, Jerome, parang masaya ka sa ginagawa mo. Paano ba yan? Parang kaya ko din gawin yan. So, may mga na-attract tayo na friends and monthly may nakukood ako. I was promoted to be an AUM, 8 months. As part-time, medyo pasikleta pa kami na, kasi bawal yun parang bawal part-time pag manager. Pero, 3rd month ko as an AUM, I go full-time. Bakit? Nagigilty ako, Miss J, na parang hindi ko masuporta 100% yung team ko when they ask me for GFW or for mentoring or anything or training. So, yun yung naging story paano ko napunta sa Philander.
So you gave up your 180,000 plus a month job to become an AUM in 8 months time?
Yes. So parang 11 months ako nag full-time kasi may 3 months pa ako na part-time.
So again, it shows your courage, no? But again, going back to your story where you came from, very, very inspiring. And I hope those who are listening, again, will see through that story that it doesn't matter where you start, no? If you really are working very hard and dedicated, things can go right for you. Congrats on your journey so far, Okay, Jay.
So far, thank you po.
Pero consistent sa iyong pagiging slashy, no? Balikan natin yung very decorated mo na educational at iyong work background, no? So, sabi mo nga kanina, you graduated magna cum laude of your batch. Top 4 ka, placer ka sa iyong CPA board exams. You were a manager of a very reputable auditing firm, SGV, sabihin na natin dito
Yeah.
Of course, naging manager ka din doon sa isang Australian-based company. So, talagang napakaganda naman ng iyong mga naging background from where you've been, no? So talagang sabi nga ni Mr. Ivy, napakagandang inspiration 'yon kasi ito naman yung iyong mga naging naging success mo, achievements mo. Jerome, hindi ba naging concern sa iyo what people will say? Your relatives or other people will say na, ang ganda-ganda ng iyong mga achievements tapos magiging insurance agent ka? Naging naging concern ba to? Were you bothered by this?
Of course, no, naging issue sa akin nung umpisa. Actually, ang kinakabahan hindi ako yung pamilya ko.
Sure.
Baka daw lumiit na yung ayuda for them na yung bigay ko sa kanila. I think it's a calculated risk for me, no. When I go full time, sabi ko para mas madali para mas safe lang ako. I even took a mortgage loan. Para lang meron akong if things goes up, I have funds, no? So, ganun ang ginawa ko, very, very sure. After 2 months of going full time, I became an MDRT. That's my first MDRT qualification. And from there, 100 straight weeks consistent weekly, no? So, a lot of my friends are parang scratching their head. Jerome, like, you're at the position where other CPAs would love to be. Isang Australian company na mabait ang boss, family-oriented. Bakit, no? Miss J, I noticed, no? Wala na ako dapat ikareklamo sa trabaho ko. Pero, it's as if I'm dragging myself to work. And through some parang self-analysis, I realized, okay, may missing sa trabaho ko. Ang missing sa trabaho ko, even when I'm auditor or when I'm a manager, no, is the purpose. It's felt parang yes, binabayaran ako ng malaki, pero parang wala akong nako-contribute sa society. Wala akong nako-contribute sa society. Ang kaharap ko lang laptop, libro, yun lang. So, ang gusto ko kasi sa buhay ko, nagne-network ako. Gusto ko sa buhay ko, I'm touching lives. I'm inspiring people. Hindi ko yun nagagawa when I'm in the corporate. So, yun yung happiness ba wala. So, right now, I'm in a career na might be walang laban dun sa status ng mga na-achieve ko before, but I'm happy.
It's very nice to hear, no, Jerome, na talagang this career has given you the purpose, no, at yun yung pinaka-importante. But having said that, Jerome, balikan lang natin ng konti. Ano naman yung mga initial challenges or fears na meron ka, no? Because there might be a lot of people, no, watching us tonight na nandoon pa sa sitwasyon na yun no, na nag-uumpisa pa lang o nag-iisip pa lang na mag-shift ng career. Ano yung mga initial concerns and fears mo at paano mo sila na-overcome?
Yes, first one ko syempre Miss J, lack of sales skills. Kasi I used to work in the back office accountant, auditor, harap namin laptop. So tapos ngayon harap kami sa kliyente. So hindi siya masyadong sanay. And I learned that sales is actually a learnable skill. So what I learned is I indulged in a lot of trainings, Care of Film Life. I even went on 1 week leave just to attend trainings by Film Life back then. I attend Saturday, minsan natatandaan ko, on a Saturday A session, parang skills building session. Ang attendee 3 lang. Ako yung isa yung UM ko, yung isa AM. Ibig sabihin ako lang yung attendee for that day. I don't care. Basta matuto ako because I trust my mentor so well that they will definitely teach me a lot of skills, no. I even paid for RFP, no. Parang I paid 28,000 when I'm starting kasi sabi ko gusto ko talaga confident ako when I face my client. That's the first one. Next one, time. Ano gagawin ko? Part-time ako. Paano yun? Gagawin ko gabi lang or weekends lang? Well, you know what I did, Miss J? Ang mantra ko when I'm a part-time advisor, I just don't eat alone. So, kailangan yung calendar ko, may ka-lunchmate ako, kay merienda mate, ka-dinner mate, kompleto, no? So, if I'm setting a meeting today, that will be for the next week kasi itong week ko puno na. At ang mga ka-meal mate ko, ka-lunchmate, etc. Mga tao lang sa malapit sa office ko. And then, pag na-chika-chika ko during that meal, that shared meal, ang dali naman ang sign up with Film Life. Lahat naman digital even before mag-pandemic. So they just sign up in my iPad. I can customize all proposals in the iPad. So pag sign up na, I send it online. I don't go to Film Life to submit anything. I go back to my full-time job. So I think that worked for me as the first adopter of digitalization. When I started talagang hindi na ako na-expose sa paper talagang digital na ako. So it's totally not disruptive of my full-time job. So ganun din yung tinuturo ko ngayon sa aking mga part-time advisor because this J of my 123, would you believe what sets our team apart is for a part-timer team, no? 95% are part-timers and it will be parang not authentic if I didn't do it the same way. So I joined this Film Life part-time. Yun din yung story. So that's lack of time. Third one is market. Lack of market. Sabi ko, sino yan? Wala naman akong listahan before na mga nabentahan na kasi I never been into sales. So sabi ko, sino gagawin ko? You know what I did? I just started with very few friends, very few trusted friends. Nung una, sekreto pa ako. Ayoko malaman ng mga tao na I'm a financial advisor because there's stigma around it, etc. And luckily, yung few na nilapitan ko, talaga nag-sign up with me annual. Kaya naman nagtap ako on my first month. Tapos, after social media na, yung sinasabi ko kanina na may 360 na tao na nag-likes and comments dun sa post ko, ng award ko, pinost ko yung award. Di dumali ang buhay ko, social media made my life easy, no? Tapos, ano pa ba? So, sa market, right now, Miss J, I think I'm down to 10%. 10% of my hundreds clients are originally nakakilala ko. The 90%, I don't know them initially. They're total strangers at first, but they were referred to me. So right now, they're my friends. Yeah. So ganun nag-grow yung business. Even if you don't have market, you can actually grow it through referrals. No? And lastly, fear of rejection. Mayabang ako when I started, hindi ako nare-reject, no? When I apply for a job, natatanggap ako. Tapos dito sa career, napaka-humbling, no? You get rejected, hindi ka papansinin, isisinson ka. So, to be vulnerable, affected ako nung umpisa. But syempre 7 years na ako in the business, I was able to surpass that stage. Paano ko siya na-surpass? Acceptance, Miss J. I just need to accept the realities of the business na hindi naman talaga lahat na lalapitan ko will have the time to meet me, will be financially ready, mentally, emotionally ready to sign up for a plan and hear what I'm going to say. No? Bakit ako ba mismo, lahat ba na nag-approach sa akin, lahat ba pinaunlakan ko? Hindi rin naman. No? Ako mismo sa dami ng nasinzone ko. So, ayun, mabuti nga sa akin at nasisinson ako kasi ganun din ako, no? And siguro ang lagi ko sinasabi sa aking mga advisors that being frustrated with rejection, sabi ko, biya magtataho. Ano yung magtataho? Ang magtataho sa morning, sisigawin ng taho. At wala siyang pakialam sa mga hindi bibili sa kanya. Ang may pakialam siya dun sa mga tao na nagkikrib sa taho that morning. Ang nagiging trap kasi sa business, a lot of us, even me, guilty ako dyan, when we're starting in the business, ang focus namin dun sa mga ayaw. O di, dun kami na-frustrate. Pero magtataw, walang pake sa ayaw, ang pake sa gusto. So, I'm channeling the focus of my advisor. Huwag mong pansinin yung mga ayaw. Doon ka sa may gusto. Promise, hindi ka maapektuhan ng rejection. So, I think yung apat, yung naging main initial challenges ko, Miss J.
Thank you, Jerome. No? And very clearly, kita natin na na-overcome mo lahat yun. No? And ang maganda nun, you are able to teach also your experiences and share your experiences with your new recruits.
Again, I just want to point out your ability to really respond to the difficulties and to the challenges that came your way, which is really very necessary, as you pointed out, in the success in this business. No? You've mentioned, Jerome, na agad-agad you achieve MDRT status and multiple times in your young career. And then in such a short time, you became a AUM and now you're almost a full-fledged agency. Question is, what led you to a leadership role? Mukhang mahusay ka na kaagad na advisor pero bakit ka napunta sa isang pagiging leader?
Yes, no. When I look at my leaders, I really look up to them. Like they were previous guests in this in this Leaders in Action. Senior Agency Manager Tita Edna Gan and Reynold Gan. When you look at them, lalo si Tita Edna, kung ikaw ay katulad ko na parang hindi nakaranas or hindi nakamingle with rich people, sabi ko, kakaingit naman sila. So parang may inggit plays some part of it na maybe they're leaders because there's something in it. And then I research about it. Pasimple lang, no? Hindi ako nagtanong sa kanila. Ni-research ko, ano kaya meron pag leader? May override. In film life back then, if I'm an MDRT, I have also override to myself, no? Basta may cap lang. So sabi ko, okay. So ibig sabihin, kung mapaparami ko yung team ko, familiar ako with the concept of multiple streams of income. Mabasa ako ng mga finance books before. Sabi ko, pwede ba yun? Pwede ba yun na I'm earning not based on my time or my skill, but rather on the performance of my team? Why not? So, ganun, nung nalaman ko yung ganung override system, in a way, medyo passive income, no? Kasi, imagine mo, tulog ako, pero nagpe-present yung advisor ko, tapos kikita ako from that. That's something, that's something unique for me na 100% employee before. Na I've never been at the experience na kumikita ka because of sa iba, no? So, passive. So, dun, yun yung it started with just a curiosity. Tapos, sinaportahan ng leader. Thank you, Tita Edna and Reynold, for really being my number one cheerleader. Umpisa pa lang talaga namang manager, di ba? Stage manager. So, they helped me through all the levels, no? From EUM to UM and now AAM. And then, ayun, so I think na yun yung sagot ko sa tanong ba't ako nag-leader. Initially, it's an agenda. I started with because I can have other income. But when I am in the position, doon na pumasok yung puso ng pagiging leader. Ang puso ng pagiging leader, we're servant leader. Pag leader ka, nakakatawa lang kasi parang ang taas mo sa yung pangalan, you're a manager.
Yeah.
But to be honest, when you're a leader
Yeah.
in insurance, para kang nakaka-humble po siya kasi ang dami mong gagawin, ang dami mong suporta. Unlike sa
Yeah.
corporate na pag manager ka, people will like work for you. But here, no.
Yeah.
If you're a manager, you will work for other people. So like, I always go out of my way to support my advisors
Yeah.
at the best of my abilities. Na if that would mean going from one place to like kaduluduluhan ng lugar, gagawin ko siya. So doon pumasok yung servant leadership. Nagbago yung perspective ko. It started something selfish, but na-convert ako to selfless na, okay, whatever abundance I'm enjoying right now, I want other advisors to also experience this. And also, I want to, sobrang happy po ako pag nakikita ko yung mga tao ko succeeding. Even reaching greater heights than what I've reached, no?
Yeah.
Ganun yung happiness ko talaga right now. Kaya papapansin niyo, if you're my friend in FB, grabe ako mag-post talagang pag your ipopost kita sa Facebook. Yun, that makes me happy. Yun po.
I think that's also one good thing about the industry, which again, it's pleasing to hear it from you, no? Na what makes you really happy is your ability and opportunity to help the people that you have been given the privilege to take care of, no? Now, another question is what is it in your previous job that helps you to become an effective leader today?
Wow. Gusto ko yan because I want to parang pay tribute to what I live a life before as an accountant. Right now as a manager, no? Leadership and management is two different worlds, but they're both important for me. Yung managing na side, I am very number crunching. So I love numbers. I love persistency. I love monitoring, asan na ba ako sa trip ko, itong si advisor A, malapit na ba siya sa trip ko. So I think that the structure coming from a corporate allowed me to be organized in managing the team. So parang nababawasan yung mga inefficiencies because I work like a corporate until now. So yun. Auditor, I'm an auditor. When you're an auditor, may mata ka nakita yung mga mali. Like, pag nakita ko to, parang there's something off about it, and then I go into the details, then nakikita ko, okay, may mali, this is how to move forward. So, problem solving is there, identifying problems is there, and moving forward is there because I came from a CPA accountant background. And of course, napakadali, tax. Siyempre, as professionals, hindi na tayo binibidholdan tulad dati na the HR will file for us. So, yun, nakakatulong sa akin kasi I can easily pay and file for my tax.
Well, again, very clear, no? The discipline, the organization, the attention to details, no? You brought into the role as a leader. So, put together, I suppose, the recipe for success. Jay?
Jerome, you were appointed as an associate agency manager October 2020, which is parang yan yung mga height of the pandemic, no? But after that, talagang your team has been registering milestones after milestones. I'm sure all our audience would want to know how you were able to achieve those accomplishments during this crisis. But bago nating balikan puntahan rather, yung iyong pagiging successful, balikan lang natin muna sandali because you also mentioned that during the early days of the pandemic, they were not also easy days for you and your team. Naging napakahirap din. So can you briefly share with us how difficult the early days of pandemic were for you, and ano yung naging ano yung nag-turn around doon sa performance mo? Ano yung nangyari that after that talagang parang hindi na kayo magpaawat, talagang continue na yung success mo. So pwede bang i-share mo sa amin yon, Jerome?
Yes. So the pandemic, before the digitalization, sobrang hirap. When the full lockdown happened, of course, ang requirement before face-to-face kailangan bago ka makapagpa-sign up. Paano yan, Hindi pwede mag face-to-face kasi nga lahat lockdown, total lockdown, very strict, So, grabe po, like drop in income talaga ng very significant, pero ang expenses mo, I will still pay secretary, I still pay credit card, I still pay insurance, etc. So, ramdam, no? Ramdam ko yung hit on the finances. And I think that's the greatest struggle talaga at the height of the pandemic when it's starting. And as I'm crunching the numbers, sabi ko, this doesn't look good. It made me very anxious, no? To be transparent with our viewers today. You know what I did, Miss J? I became very vulnerable to admit that I need help, no? I reached out to my agency managers. Sabi ko, tita, okay lang ba mag-set ako ng meeting sa inyo? And then I explained na, tita, ito na yung nangyayari sa akin. This is my greatest battle ngayon, yung finances. Ito pa rin ginagastos ko and all. So it's not creating me money, no? So, and I still need to pay bills. And there's a low-lying fruit, no? The low-lying fruit there is to be promoted to be an AEM. So I'm happy because I have very supportive leaders. They supported me all the way. Not only them, even Film Life up to the CFO level, they approved my promotion. And back there, it was just like an emergency thing, no? Something like coming out of necessity. But guess what, no? Even before, no, we're not used to do Zoom meetings. Alien sa amin yung Zoom. Alien sa amin yung mga virtual meetings. Talagang struggle is real. Hindi kami early adopter. I know other teams have early adopted. Kami po, it take months din talaga. When we're promoted, nag-gather kami as a leadership team. Yun ang happy ako. When I am promoted, hindi lang ako yung nag-promote. It's the whole team. There's like identity of the team. Pag sinabi mong team BC, hindi yan si Jerome. It's the whole advisor group led by the leadership team. So umupo kami, sige, ito yung nangyayari, and as an AM, I only have 2 years to be promoted to be an agency. Ayan, what is in for you pag nag-agency ba tayo, no? As ang hirit ng aming mga ibang leaders, ay gusto ko may wifi, gusto ko may magandang area sa office, ganyan. So it became a team. Yung promotion as an agency is not an individual goal for me, but rather a consensus or collective goal for everyone. Everyone's just so excited na finally, pwede pala yun na you can become an agency, no? So, what we did first, structure is everything. Everything that we've been doing before pandemic, tapon. How can we do things differently? Iba na nag-iba na yung nag-iba na. Dati, we're used to meet face-to-face in one room. Biglang ngayon, hindi na pwede. Lahat binago, no? There was an intention to adapt and sumabay sa change. Okay, recruitment. Umpisa, pinag-usapan na recruitment. What we can do differently. Okay, wow, na-realize namin, instead of all the dramas of the pandemic na mahirap mag-recruit, walang IC exam, etc., etc., tiningnan namin on the brighter side. In every crisis, there's an opportunity. So we don't look at the crisis, we look at the opportunity. Anong realities of the pandemic? Mas madaming taong pwede mag-meet. Dati, maswerte na kami kung makadala kami sa BOP ng 3, 5. Ngayon, dahil Zoom, oh my gosh, 40, 30, kaya na in one Zoom. Dati, imposible yun, no? Ano pang pwede, no? Ano pang pwede? Dati, kailangan umattend ng classroom training ang mga recruits. Ngayon, hindi na. Virtual training na. So, sobrang saya na the moment we look into kumbaga kay Catriona Gray on the silver lining, that's where the magic happened na hindi kami nagpapabictimize on the problem or the crisis. What excites is how can we take advantage of the opportunity. So laging ganon. Ano pa naging changes namin? Paano ba natin papadaliin yung pagpapa-license ng isang advisor? Oh, bigyan natin. Since being an AEM, nagkaroon ako ng more funds, no? You know what I did? Sobrang generous ko as a leader. I flowed everything sa team, no? I sponsored for a 21-day challenge. No? Pag ikaw ay recruit, matapos mo the training and the forms in 21 days, you will be sponsored by AEM in terms of licensing fee. Mahal din yun, 3.5 per head din yun. Ano pa mga binago namin? Dati, pinapadala lang namin sa Film Life ang recruit to attend BOP. Ngayon, hindi. We need to be very serious with BOP. Gawa tayo. It's a trial and error hanggang gumanda yung event, no? We offer now bi-weekly BOP.
Your
Yan.
own BOP na, hindi na sa
Yes.
company.
Hindi na. So, pinapadalan pa rin namin sa company kapag hindi pwede sa schedule namin.
Pero may
No?
support, meron kayong separate.
Meron kami separate. Ano pa? So, yung mga structure, ay lahat talaga inisipan ng structure. Lahat bago, everything is fresh. Talagang, yun. So, the element of freshness na nung binibuild up namin towards the last quarter of 2020, boom, nung January onwards this year, oh my gosh, no? Parang the recruits are just coming in month out. We're like being recognized as the top recruiting team. In terms of activation, meron kami na-recruit na part-time siya, pero 100 policy na siya, na-promote na rin siya to EM. So, nag-isip din kami na structure, how can we activate, no? How can we activate? Ano yung way natin para in 1 month na alam niyo na lahat? Yun. So, mga ganon. So, siguro, what I learned, majority from my experience is, I can't do it alone. I'm just the spokesperson right now. I'm speaking on behalf of my leaders. We started with 8 core leaders, and right now we're now 29, no, including candidate leaders. Another thing, as a leader, I am very open. Tinanggap ko na I'm not the best person in the room. Tinanggap ko na I have amazing ideas, but it might not be the best. At tinanggap ko na I have amazing ideas, but when I collaborate with other leaders in the room, bubongga yung idea na yan. So, it's always like that collaboration. So, what excites us every month, what's new structure that we can come up with this month? Ano ba yung greatest struggle natin? Ano yung pwedeng bagong structure? So, structure is everything. Our breakthrough happened when we're intentional with structure building. Yan po.
Very nice, no, Jerome, no? Dalawang napaka-importanting ideas ang insights ang nakuha ko sa iyo. Unang-una, no, yung pagiging associate agency manager mo, promotion, became the rallying cause, no, for the entire team. So meron kayong parang isang big, no, thing, no, na talagang that's holding you together, keeping you together, no. So napaka-importante for every team, no, na magkaroon ng rallying cause. And for you, yun yung pagiging hindi lang associate agency manager, pagiging ultimate na talaga na full-fledged, no, agency manager, no? And second, yung pagiging sabi mo nga, no, the structure, putting a structure, no, is very important because structure will set everything, no, in place, no. So whether you are there or not, pag meron kang structure, tuloy-tuloy yun. At yun yung nakikita mo, no, that recruitment, leader appointment, no, dire-diretso na, simply because you put a structure that is relevant, no, with the time. Okay, so sabi mo nga, hindi ka nag-isip, no, nag-double, no, nag-second thought, no, rather na itapon mo lahat yung nandiyan na structure and redo everything, no, put together everything that will work given the current situation that we have. So I think that's a very good insight na makukuha ng ating ibang mga leaders, no, na nakikinig sa atin. IB?
Jerome, if you were to describe the kind of culture that you're building in your team, no, to activate, to make them really achieve their potential, what kind of culture are you building? And how successful are you right now in that direction?
Okay. We're very clear with our culture, no? If all our marketing materials would revolve around the foundation of our culture, which is fun, purpose, and growth. So yung tatlo, no, I think we came up with a study around among millennials. What keeps millennials stay in a company? Yung tatlo po na yan, fun, purpose, and growth. So we make sure all our events have fun, have purpose, and have growth, no? So a lot of millennials are actually in love with that idea na I'm enjoying. At the same time, there's depth in what I do. And as well as I'm learning and improving, I'm way better than who am I yesterday or the last week. So yun po yung culture. Another thing as a leader, I would say I'm very open. I'm always gather ideas from leaders. But I don't come in empty-handed, no? At the parang before I meet them, just in case wala kaming ma-resolve, meron na rin akong ready na at least for me, and something I can ask them for feedback. I'm very open for feedback. I'm very open for ideas. Ang leadership ko po ay barkada lang, no? Kaya mapapansin mo when sabi ko yung promotion around agency, they don't when we'll be promoted, they don't attribute that promotion to me. They attribute it to everyone kasi they felt it's like a Google thing na everyone can have a happy corner in the office where they parang there's fun yon. So barkada works for us. In terms of professionalism naman, I think it's nandun na yun kasi we're majority professional, so sanay kami to be respectful of everyone's time, everyone's space, yon, everyone's opinion. Yun po, fun, purpose, and growth.
Okay, very clear. Fun, purpose, and growth. Very clear, no? Millennial na millennial talaga. You've mentioned the growth of your number of leaders. So, what is one thing that you're doing to ensure that you've got a robust pipeline of leader candidates?
Wow, okay. Even leader development, nagkaroon kami ng mga structure. Ganun po ka, ganun ka intentional with structure building. I can compare this with like building a mansion. When I consider the team building as like building a mansion, my dream house. As habang nagbe-build ng mansion, dahil pangit pa, madumi pa, maingay pa, people will leave, na may mga umalis pa. Pero ngayon, nung nagkaroon na kami ng maraming structure, yung mansion medyo gumanda na. Nagkaroon na ng itsura, medyo may maganda na, no? So, people in the space, coming into the space, are happy to enjoy the mansion, happy to be with the mansion, and maybe in the future can be part owner of the mansion. So, pag happy ang mga tao sa mansion, they will bring their friends to be with them sa mansion. So, parang ganun yung strategy na people are bringing people over to the team because they see na ang ayos, ang linis, no?
Yeah.
Hindi ko na pag-iisipan. Pag mag-recruit ako, ipapalo ko na lang. Dati wala kaming ganun. Ipapalo ko na lang yung structure. Itong day na to, may 20. Ang dami structure. Ano pa, no? Ano pa yung mga leader development strategy namin? All our events, iba-iba po ang team. So I don't do it. There's a lot of events in the team that's happening without me. And as the top leader in my organization, I'm very happy. Gusto ko yun. Dami nangyari na wala ako. Sometimes kasi we're being trapped na kailangan control natin lahat. Hindi, mas masaya po na may nangyayari na wala ka, na wala ako. Going back to the culture, there's a culture of trust.
Yeah.
No? People are stepping into leadership because they felt trusted.
Yeah.
And they felt valued. So when someone or a team do an event for me, let's say they have the associate agency celebration, my gift for them is not money, no? At the end of the event, I'll sit down with them, I celebrate with them, and I give them feedback. No? So feedback is one core of our team. That's why people cannot stop growing because they will always grow because of feedback. And sanay na yun, hindi lang ako yung sanay magbigay ng feedback, all of my leaders are sanay mag-feedback. Hanggang ang mga tao natutuwa, madali pala mag-leader. Parang kukopihin ko na lang kung ano ginagawa ng AUM, UM, AM, eto na pala yun. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll bring my friends, tapos follow ko na lang whatever is working na. So yun, because of the structure, nagkaroon ng confidence sa mga tao to become leader. Dati, ang hirap pagpa-leader dati. Yun pala yung missing piece, yung structure.
Again, very well said. Very much aligned, no? Yung lahat ng sinabi mo, trust, openness, and then of course the feedback, no? Again, congratulations to what you've been achieving. Marami kang senior, ha? So if I were to ask you after itong taon na to, hindi pa tapos, what are you so happy about in what you're seeing in 2021?
This year?
Yes. Anong nagpapasaya sa iyo sa lahat ng ginawa mo? Ano ang nagpasaya sa iyo itong 2021?
For one, I'll be plastic kapag di ko to sinabi. I'm the beneficiary of all the travel. So because my team is so achieving a lot, I qualified now to four destinations. I am going to Malaysia, a Malaysian study trip, Rome, Italy, Istanbul, Turkey, and Santorini, Greece. Wow. My fifth travel pa ako na I'm really praying for, that's the President's Club. So, based on ranking yun, kaya hindi ko pa yun hindi ko pa yun ma-claim. So, yun. Okay lang kung bigay, okay lang kung hindi. That's one. Another thing, akala ko mahihirapan ako if my number of advisors reach to 123. Would you believe hindi? Para mas yung aking schedule mas nag-clear. It's because I have a lot of leaders.
Kasi leaders
So
helping you.
because I'm trusting people more,
Yeah.
no? I'm trusting people more. I'm very supportive of their promotion and all. As a leader, as a top leader of my organization, my role is to be the chief happiness officer. Sabi nga namin ang laging mantra namin sa team, we're not fighting to be like the number one largest, strongest team in Film Life. No. Ang gusto namin mangyari, we're the number one happiest team in Film Life. Kumbaga, there's always that fun. So, ayun. So, that's what I'm happy about this year na I was able to succeed in that. There's a lot of trial and error, there's a lot of mistakes. But in the team, there's always permission to commit mistakes. Because mistakes is where we grow the most.
Yes.
And pagtatawanan na lang namin yung mga mistakes namin. Even ako, nagkakaroon ako ng mga mistakes. I'm very open and to admit that to my leaders. There's always that moving forward momentum. Lastly, on a pandemic, what I'm happy this year at the height of the pandemic, yung energy na protect namin. Sabi nila, and I truly believe in this, your sales for the month is actually the level of your energy. If mababa energy ni leader, mababa din ang sales. I believe that. I believe that energy is everything. I became a more coach this year. And I'm happy because coaching, something I spent hundreds of pesos, no, to invest in myself to learn about life coaching.
Yeah.
Nakatulong siya to help people navigate through this difficult time of pandemic. So yun yung mga sineselebrate ko this year. And definitely, itong bago kong lugar here in Tanay, I recently acquired this. So, enjoying abundance even at the height of pandemic.
Well deserved, no? With what you've said and what you've shared, well deserved, no? Jay.
Yes, Jerome, my last question before I do our fast talk. Na-mention mo, fast talk tayo. You mentioned that you just been accredited a life coach. How does being a life coach made you a better leader?
Ang normal ko kasi ng pagkatao, medyo controller ako. But when I'm wearing my life coach hat, no, I'm a supporter. A coach is someone who thinks of a greater possibility for someone. So that's where I'm happy na pag ang isang tao, isang advisor, isang leader may pinagdadaanan, as a life coach, I have this listening ear to help him or her create awareness, better awareness. Kasi dati nakikita niya ito problema lang. Pero sa coach, na because of that conversation, thought-provoking conversation, lumalawak yung pagkaintindi niya doon sa nangyayari. Hanggang na nasosolve niya yung problema niya without me giving out the solution. So I think that makes me a leader because I've spent so much around life coaching. I help people navigate through difficult times. And I'm also coaching myself. Every day will not be like a perfect day for me, happy day. But because of coaching, I was being able to also coach myself to navigate through those difficult days.
Good.
Very good. So I think ang objective ngayon is not only to be a leader, no, but really to be a coach. So, yun yata yung
Wow.
Yun
Pwede.
ang bagong goal, no? Goal ng mga leaders ngayon. So thank you again, no, Jerome, for your very insightful sharing. So sabi ko nga kanina, no, tapos na tayo sa serious part.
Parang bitin. Joke lang.
Ang bilis basta maganda usapan, ang bilis.
Mga discussion, talagang nagkukulang tayo sa oras no. So kailangan na nating medyo tapusin, no, yung serious part and we'll part na. So sabi ko nga sa iyo, gagawa tayo ng fast talk, which I believe hindi na ito bago sa iyo dahil ikaw ay fun.
Yes.
Na dito. So ready ka na, Jerome?
Yes.
Okay, so una muna natin. What's your dream vacation?
Thailand. Di ba ko ba't ko naisip yun? Thailand. Yeah.
Okay, night or day?
Day.
Day, okay. Masipag or maparaan?
Maparaan.
How many pillows do you use when you're sleeping?
3.
Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Burger or pizza?
Pizza.
Lights on or lights off?
Lights off. Mahiyain. Dead.
Okay, ito. You are now 30 plus something ka na ba, Jerome?
35.
Okay, you're
35.
now 35 years old. Okay, imagine yourself, you're standing in front of your 50-year-old self. What will be your message to him?
To my 50-year-old self, thank you for being still alive today. And thank you for being strong and courageous and making your life a message of possibility to other people like us. Yan. Congratulations.
Wow, I'm sure your 50-year-old self will be very happy. So thank you again, Jerome, for all your beautiful sharing. We are so inspired by your story, your ups and downs, how you make use of your limitations to stretch yourself, and how you chose to enjoy the ride despite and in spite all the challenges, leading you and your team to many milestones and breakthroughs. I know that this is only the start of so many more wonderful and greater things for you and your team.
Thank you po.
Siguradong sigurado ako your nanay and your kuya in the industry, managers Edna and Reynold, are very happy and proud of you. All the best, Jerome, and to Team
Thank
DC.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
You started way down below, no, Jerome, no, your circumstance in life, no. But I really hope that those who will be able to listen to this will really appreciate the kind of journey that you have, no, and extraordinary efforts and hard work. And of course, nasabi mo nga, there are a lot of people in your journey who have helped you, no. And as you've mentioned, you cannot do that alone, but credit to your dedication and to your perseverance and fortitude, no. So again, maraming salamat. And itong the last 20 months during the pandemic, sabi mo nga parang not so much of a challenge because of what you've gone through in your earlier life, no, and the years before. But your personal testimony tonight proved, no, again, that one can always choose to be positive. Pwedeng bumalik, mag-bounce back, and excel during a time of challenge. And as Jay mentioned, we are very excited to see you and your team to reach more milestones, no, in the years ahead. So congratulations and to your people and to your leadership, no, mabuhay ka.
Thank you po, Sir Ivy and Miss J.
Thank you, Jerome. No, and to all our audience, I'm sure you got a lot of takeaways from the very wonderful sharing of Jerome tonight. No, you can watch again the full interview with Jerome for those of you who missed, no, the episode on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Mr. Ivy, it's a wrap, no? So, Jerome, sabi nga namin kanina, this is our last episode for
Wow.
and
Season
we
2.
are very blessed that you are our finale guest namin, no, for this season. So thank you again, everyone, all our friends and kapamilya from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and even those outside of the country for choosing to spend your past 13 Thursday evenings with
Wow.
us. Yes, maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta. Thank you for liking, sharing, no, and following our episodes and all our social media platforms. And maraming salamat din sa ating mga kaibigan, our former colleagues who are now agency executives in the different insurance companies for introducing, connecting, and recommending your leaders to leaders in action. So ulitin namin, ngayong season 3, kami po ay kakatok ulit sa inyong pintuan para mag-imbita ng mga leaders. So maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
And of course, we wish to thank all of our leader guests for their inspiring stories, no, and for generously sharing their insights and experience. Your leadership journeys have been a source of encouragement and inspiration to your fellow leaders. And we hope that you will continue to make a big difference, no, not just in your respective teams, in the company, but of course in the entire industry. We will have a break for 1 month starting next week. But we will be posting new contents for you para hindi nyo makalimutan ang Leaders in Action. And you will hear important messages from your very own agency executive or heads of distribution. So watch out for them. We will see you again on January 6, 2022 na. Thursday pa rin, 8 p.m. for Season 3 of Leaders in Action. So again, to Leaders in Action.
Real leaders.
Real stories.
And real talk. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Maraming
Thank
salamat.
you.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Jerome.
Stay safe. Bye, everybody. Thank you. See you January.